This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English. Episode number 205, baby. Oh yeah. In today's episode, I speak to Substitute Sabrina. Yes, she is back. The kind of American citizen of the world. She is back on Rock and Roll English, and we talk about why we should thank the United States. This was a difficult episode for me to record, I must admit, but I tried my best. Also because I wanted to say a big thank you, a public thank you to Substitute Sabrina for a huge favour that she is doing me, which you can find out about in the podcast. And if you want to listen to 600 extra episodes of Rock and Roll English that are not available in the public domain, let's say, then go to rockandrollenglish.com and click on Family area where you can download one of those 600 episodes, my favourite one, for free, and register your interest for when the Rock and Roll English family opens again in September. Remember, only register your interest, nothing else. Anyway, that's enough of me talking. Here is the conversation. All of this vocabulary is on the website, rockandrollenglish.com. Don't forget that. I will speak to you all again at the end. Happy listening. Substitute Sabrina, how are you today?
Hey, doing good, thanks.
Are you not going to ask me how I am?
Oh, I'm sorry. How you doing, Martin?
Always fantastic. Always fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. That was so kind of you.
Oh, no, my pleasure.
That's the classic thing I have almost every lesson with students. I say, how are you today? They say, I'm fine. And I say, okay, that's good. As long as you're fine, that's the important thing. Don't worry about me. The important thing is you're fine.
Oh, poor Martin doesn't get anybody to say how he's doing.
Exactly. Maybe I'll put a violin playing at this moment. But before we start, I want to say a big happy birthday to you. It is your birthday today. Recording a podcast on your birthday. I mean...
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It was my pleasure. My pleasure.
I couldn't think of a better way to spend a birthday than record a podcast for Rock and Roll English.
I know, right? It's like the first thing on my priority list.
Yeah, I hope this counts as my present to you. Okay, yeah?
I don't know about that. We'll see.
Okay. So it's been a while since you've been on the show, Substitute Sabrina. I hope you haven't forgotten. How do we usually start the show?
Well, you want to remind me? I don't know. It has been a while.
Okay, so you actually have forgotten. I was saying that as a joke. I thought she hasn't forgotten. She knows, but you actually have. We start with a review, okay?
Okay.
And the next question is, do you think we have a review?
Do you have a review? Of course you have a review. You always have a review.
Always is a bit extreme. I would say often, maybe even sometimes. It's difficult to think of an adverb between sometimes and often. Somewhere between that. But we do today, and it's from Jürgen Metzler. Always, I'm a bit worried about the pronunciation. I think that one wasn't too bad. I've definitely had worse. But anyway, and it's a Facebook review, which is great, 5 stars. And it says, Rock and Roll English is not only a funny podcast with superb storytelling and British humour. No comment that we have an American person here today. Even more than that, it is absolutely hilarious thanks to the guests. All are to be mentioned here. So I think that's kind of you as well mentioned there, Substitute Sabrina, and the fundamental host, Martin Johnston. Together, you make this podcast real rock and roll, flavoured with fancy names, topics below the belt, and a whole lot of R&R vocabulary makes it one of my 2 favourite English podcasts. I know it's one of my 2 favourite, not number 1. Hopefully one day it will be number 1, but never mind. I have listened to every single episode and still can't get enough. So stay motivated, spreading your stories out to the world and keep on rocking. From a fan not worth mentioning.
Wow.
I didn't make that bit up. He actually wrote that last bit. But thank you very much for that, Jürgen. I love a bit of self-deprecation as well. Which is when you kind of make fun of yourself, which is, I think, one of us Brits, that's one of our strong points. The Americans, are they good at self-deprecation? Substitute Sabrina?
Maybe not. Maybe not. They're
Okay.
a little bit more, proudful.
Exactly. So I think Britain is winning 1-0.
Oh, it's a competition today. Okay, I'm ready for this.
Life is a competition. Play to win.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
So on to today's show, Substitute Sabrina. Before we start, I want to say a big thank you, a very public thank you to Substitute Sabrina for her favour which she is doing for my wedding, which is translating all of the speeches from English to Italian, Italian to English. This is what is so wonderful about having a bilingual friend.
It's my pleasure. It's my gift to you. Unfortunately, as you know, I can't make it to your wedding, and I'm really sad about that. So this is my gift to you, obviously, besides the other gift.
Yep. I got 2 gifts, but I think this is such a good gift. It's almost better than you coming, Sabrina.
Oh, thanks.
That was a joke. That was a joke. But it is definitely a wonderful gift. So thank you very much. And as we're doing this, like thanking stuff, and as you're semi-American, I thought we could look at some things that we should be thankful to America for. Okay, because I often complain about America. It's not all bad though. Just mostly. So I thought we could look at some of the positive things today.
Okay, let's look at the positive things.
Exactly. I actually recently found out, though, it's kind of offensive to use the word America, because I spoke to some rock and rollers, actually, in Argentina, and they said that America is like a continent, so they don't like it when people say America, because you should use the official name, the United States.
I agree with that comment. I agree, because America is also part South America, Central America. It's all one continent.
Yeah, so I'm a citizen of the world too, as well now. Substitute Sabrina, okay?
Exactly.
Just me talking to some students in Argentina. That's a normal day for me these days.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm like you now, citizen of the world. Okay, so I've got a list here. Again, I've done 5 minutes research about things that we should be thankful for to the United States. I'm saying that correctly now. And one is Super Bowl Sunday. Okay. I don't know a lot about this because I hate American football. What happens? Is it good? Should we really be thankful?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't, or I'm not an American football fan.
That's the best thing you've ever said on the podcast, okay?
I did watch the Super Bowl only for the halftime shows. I never watched the game, but it's a big deal in America. In the United States.
Exactly. I've heard about this. Why is it such a big deal? So like something important to watch TV adverts, commercials, I think they're called in America, no? In the United States.
Because they're different, they're new. Some are controversial, some are funny. But
just here's an idea, okay? Watch them on YouTube the next day.
Yeah, if you miss the show, you watch them the next day. But to watch it live, it's like, oh wow, did you see that?
But it's not live though, is it? Because it's a TV commercial. It's a TV advert. Like a football match is live because something could happen that you weren't expecting or something like that. But it's not live.
But the commercial is at the moment because you hadn't seen it before. But besides that, it's also the performers. Like this last time with Shakira and Jennifer Lopez was an awesome show.
I did see that, and I must admit,
I bet you did.
Jennifer Lopez. I don't know how old she is, but she is still looking pretty good.
Yeah, she's up there. She's good. Yeah, but Shakira too.
Yeah. And I think the expression in England is "I wouldn't kick her out of bed."
I'm sure too.
Well, I actually would, because obviously on the 21st of August I'll be a married man, so I would kick her out of bed. So, Shakira, if you're listening, you've got no chance with me, okay?
Good choice of words.
Yeah, forget about it. Dream on. So the next one here is Starbucks. Okay, I think Starbucks is quite well known worldwide. I must say I absolutely hate everything connected with Starbucks. I mean, I don't even think I've ever been in, but I just hate it just from looking outside. Even the drinks, like I've actually got one here, which is an American cherry pie frappuccino. What is a frappuccino?
A frappuccino is it's a cold drink. So you have the coffee. In this case, I guess I don't know, American pie is inside. I don't know.
So essentially, this is a pie inside a coffee. Is this what we're talking about? Because that sounds ridiculous.
I don't know how recent this one is because I've been away from the States for a long time. I never had it, so I don't know what to say. But on the defense of Starbucks, it's a pretty cool place because you can actually hang out like friends, hang out and sit down
Like
and have
the TV program, yeah.
like the TV program, yeah, and just chill.
I just don't like the whole culture with it. Of just when people have got that coffee and they're sitting, they've got like their business newspaper, drinking their frappuccino. I just think, just fuck off.
Yeah. In fact, in Italy, I don't think it's a smart move to have it here. But anyway, that's another story.
Exactly. So another one of my favorite is restrooms. Okay, I've always been so intrigued by the term restrooms, which is what what we would call the toilet, isn't it?
Right. It's a restroom. Why would I say the toilet? Where's the restroom, please?
As I think I've mentioned this before, you're not going in there just to rest. You're not going in there to lie down for half an hour.
Ew.
It's been a busy day. I just need a rest. So I'm just going to go into the rest room and lie down for 30 minutes.
That would be pretty gross to lie down in a public restroom.
Exactly. Because it's a toilet. Because it's actually a toilet. That's the actual name of it.
So let me throw this at you. Why do you guys say the loo? What is the loo?
Well, it's just a bit more polite to say the loo.
Okay.
It's a bit more elegant to say the loo. Often you will get a sophisticated woman maybe saying, I'm just going to go to the loo. And you say, oh, wow, she is sophisticated.
Where's the restroom, please?
But speaking of the toilet, the restroom, or whatever you want to say, I was at Mrs. Rock and Roll English's family house the other day. Everyone had gone out. Mrs. Rock and Roll English was going for a wedding dress fitting. No one was there. I was, minding my own business, a nice term there, just reading a book. I thought, right, I need to go to the toilet. I went to the toilet. The dog followed me. Okay.
Oh, wow. Your favorite friend.
Yeah, exactly. I tried to usher it out. So when you usher it, it's kind of like just to try and move it out. But obviously I didn't want to use any force, mainly because I'm scared of the dog. So I didn't want to touch it. It's a small dog. I could easily have just picked it up, but there was no way.
That you were going to go near him, huh?
Exactly. That wasn't an option. I kind of just tried to usher it with my foot, and then it kind of started biting my foot. So that option went out the window. So that was that's not possible. So the only option that remained was do a poo whilst the dog watches me.
He was sitting there staring at you.
It was such a strange experience. It was so strange.
Did you have a conversation with him?
There was no talking.
Okay.
In fact, I would have preferred it if there had been some talking, to be honest, just to have some interaction. It was he was just looking at me, and then obviously, when the wiping part had to happen, it was just a very, very strange experience, and one that I hope never happens again.
Oh, but he'll probably follow you in there again.
Well, hopefully next time that happens, Mrs. Rock and Roll English will be there, so I can say, "Can you please take the dog out?"
Cool. Well, it's better. It's better than him watching you do something else. So.
Also, I mean that would be impossible. That would be impossible. I wouldn't. Yeah.
Have somebody watching you. And...
No, especially a dog. Especially a dog.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Exactly. So moving on quickly from that, another one here is American food. Again, controversial. Oh, sorry, this food from the United States. What else is there except a burger? Because we've already said we're not having this frappuccino thing. Is there anything else apart from burgers?
Okay, so you have the burgers, you have steaks. Steak and a baked potato. You have
steak and a baked potato.
Yeah, you have fried chicken.
Okay, I've got another one here for you, which is a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Which again, I've got no idea how that works. Is that a thing? Do people actually eat that?
Yes, growing up, again, I guess I'm the anti-American. I don't know.
Just to correct you on your pronunciation, the word is anti-American, not anti.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go again. But anyway, I was against peanut butter and jelly. No, but a lot of my school friends, that was a typical lunch, peanut butter and jelly. Because peanut butter gives you protein, jelly, but it's not one of my favorites.
Oh, God.
Anyway, you as a Brit should not be talking about food. You guys don't have a lot of food either, huh?
Also true. Also very true. I haven't really got a comeback to that one.
Got you there, huh?
Yeah, you've
Touche.
got me. So, touche indeed. So maybe I will stop dissing American foods. When you diss something, it's when you talk badly about it. But again, speaking about food, I went for the menu tasting thing of the wedding the other day. It was all great, really nice. And then had some pasta. That was lovely. And then you have the pasta sauce. There was a bit of bread that was next to me. And then, so like, obviously I've eaten my pasta. I could see the look on substitute Sabrina's face, like pasta and bread, that's against the rules.
Exactly. No bread. Only at the end when you do the scarpetta, the little shoe.
The little shoe, yeah. So for all non-Italians, it's against the law in Italy to have pasta and bread, except as substitute Sabrina mentioned at the end, which is exactly what I wanted to do. I'd finished my pasta, it was the end, I had the sauce on the plate, and I thought that was lovely. So I'm just going to mop up this sauce, so like mop it up, like soak it into the bread and eat the bread. But obviously this was a very formal context because it was the wedding tasting, there were some other people getting married and everything was all very posh. And when Mrs. Rock and Roll English saw me do that, she said, please don't do that because it's against the rules. This is the thing. It's the best thing to do, but you can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not considered formal. And she said to me, it's in the Galileo. Is that right?
The Galileo. What is it called in English? Oh my gosh.
Galileo, something like that.
Yeah.
Someone, I don't know who, please correct me, made some rules about what you can and can't do at the dinner table. And I just think, who the fuck is this guy to tell me what I can and can't do?
Well, in a formal context, you don't want to be mopping up the sauce with the bread.
Why? If it's good, it's a compliment. It's a compliment to the chef.
No, it's a posh event. You can't be mopping up some sauce.
Fuck the posh event. If it's good, it's good. I want to eat it. Why leave the sauce on the plate? Let's just eat it.
Okay, then lick your fingers too. I mean, come on.
Okay, licking your fingers might be a bit much. Speaking about the chef, actually, at the end, he said, has anyone got any questions about the food? And then he said, no compliments, just questions. And I thought he was joking. And he was actually like, no, look, I've had enough of the compliments. And I was thinking, who told you that I was going to give you a compliment? Don't think that I was going to. I might have done, but now you said that, I'm definitely not going to.
Since I won't be able to make it to your wedding, can I know what's on the menu?
It's a big secret. It's a big secret.
Oh man, so I have to know after.
cannot make that public.
All right.
It's just a load of fancy food. And again, the chef was like, "Oh, this has just got a bit of oil and pepper just to like soak it up," and all of like getting really passionate. I was like, "Mate, it's just a bit of food. Like, let's just calm down."
No, it's creativity. So give him credit, okay?
Well, he certainly wanted the credit. That was the problem. He wanted the credit. He was like, yeah, look, don't give me compliments. I wasn't going to, but anyway, continue what you were saying. Thanks for that.
As long as it was good, no?
It was good. Okay. It was good. My compliment would have been mopping it up with the bread, but he didn't want that, okay? It was apparently not allowed because someone said it's not allowed.
True.
I say, fuck that person, okay? So another one here that we should be thankful for is friendly people, okay? I must admit, Americans are very friendly, especially like customer care kind of stuff. I actually had someone phone me the other day. I was thinking of buying this course thing in America, and someone phoned me, and then she just said, "Hey, Martin, I hope you're having an amazing day." And I was like, well, it's not amazing. I mean, I went to work today, and now I've just had dinner, and now I'm talking to you. It's definitely not been amazing. It's a very strong adjective.
So, customer service. We call it customer service.
Yeah, we call it that as well, okay? We call it that as well.
Oh, you just said customer care.
You're not getting a point for that, okay?
No, but anyway, yes, I have to say that it's top priority. Even when I was working in the cruise industry, it's like customer service is like number one. The customer is always right kind of mentality, always a friendly tone, voice, which is not bad because I
think it's too friendly though. It's fake. Like when she's like, have an amazing day. I was like, do you really want me to have an amazing day? Are you really thinking, I really hope he has an amazing day?
Let me give you some background about customer service. Basically, you have to do that because you are, what do you call it? You're being quality assurance. So they listen to the phone calls. So if you are super friendly, super nice, more incentives for you.
I have worked in this industry, substitute Sabrina, my time working at a supermarket, and we had what was called a mystery shopper that used to come around and check if you had done all of the things. You had to smile, you had to ask them if they wanted help with their bagging and stuff like that. I used to go to work from 9 till 6 and sit on a till on a supermarket. So the till is the bit where you pay and just do doop, doop, doop.
At the cashier's desk.
Doop. The till. Let's use the correct
desk.
word.
Anyway,
and it was extremely boring. And the thing people often said to me was, a smile wouldn't kill you. And I would think, look, if you had been out till 3 o'clock in the morning and had to wake up at like 8 o'clock to go to work to sit on a till all day, I don't think you would be smiling either. So just keep it shut.
I think you were the biggest grouch. I'm sure you were a grouch.
I was a grouch. So lovely rock and roll vocabulary there. So grouch, like a miserable person, basically.
Exactly.
There wasn't a lot to be happy about, except when I used to finish work on a Saturday and think, that feeling of just... I would run home with excitement because it was just such a great feeling of I don't have to do that for another week now.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. What a feeling. Another one here we should be thankful for is Las Vegas, because they said there's nowhere else like that.
Whatever happens in Vegas remains in Vegas.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. I must admit, when I went to Vegas and I lost $300 on my first night, I was not feeling very thankful. I did not think, oh, thank God this place exists. This is so good.
Let's say it's the playground of the States or anybody who goes there. Just think of the film Hangover.
Yeah, I've seen that. It wasn't my experience. I was more of just like almost crying of like, fuck, what was I thinking betting that money? How stupid am I? But the last one I'm actually very interested to hear about, because in America apparently there is drive-through everything. So like a drive-through McDonald's, for example. So you go in your car, you pick up your McDonald's, you can go home. You can have a drive-through marriage in Vegas. You can get married in a car, apparently. I didn't know that. Maybe I should have considered that with Mrs. Rock and Roll English. But the one I'm most interested in is this I don't know what it's called, a drive-through cinema. When you watch a film in your car. I've seen this on the films. Does this actually happen?
Well, I mean, in the 50s and 60s, it was a big thing as like, you know, if you remember watching Happy Days or Grease. Nowadays, I'm sure there's still some around. And I heard that with the COVID, that's coming back into, let's say, fashion to avoid people making contact. But yeah, it exists.
Okay, I would like to go to that because in the films, what happens is they go there to watch the film and then everyone just basically...
makes out.
Yeah, basically gets it on.
That's right.
Another way maybe you could use to describe that in the car. So you're not actually watching any of the film at all.
Exactly.
But good luck in a car because it's not particularly comfortable, I would imagine, doing that kind of thing in a car.
Well, let's not go there, but let's say it's not comfortable. Try doing it in a Cinquecento. It's not easy either,
Absolutely brilliant. In a Cinquecento is a very small car, a Fiat 500.
I'm talking about the first model, not the new models, okay? The old models that they were really, really small.
Well, thanks for that insight, Substitute Sabrina. On that note, I think it's a good time to say goodbye.
I think so too.
Thank you very much for your time. And thank you once again, very publicly, for this massive favour you are doing me.
You are more than welcome, for you and Alessia.
Thank you very much. Okay, see you soon.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Wow, what a fantastic moment to end the podcast on. Hey, just try to imagine that. Anyway, let's have a look at some of that rock and roll vocabulary. We had the term self-deprecation, one of my favourite terms. So self-deprecation is when you make fun of yourself, you laugh at yourself, like we had in the review. We had the term a big deal. I know this is an easy term for you, but it's a very good term to use, which I don't hear so much. We were talking about TV commercials, and I said, why is that such a big deal? Then we had a beautiful phrase of, I wouldn't kick her out of bed, when we were talking about Shakira. A lovely phrase just to say, she's okay, isn't she? Or you can use it for a man, okay? You can say, I wouldn't kick him out of bed. Like, he's not so bad, is he? He's not the best, but, I wouldn't kick him out of bed. I said that I was just minding my own business when I was at Mrs. Rock and Roll English's house reading my book. So I was just doing my own thing, and then the dog followed me to the toilet, and I tried to usher it out. So when you usher someone or something, you try to move it in a specific direction. Then we had the term that option went out the window, the option of moving the dog out of the toilet. It was not an option anymore. It went out of the window. It was just like, forget about that. I then said I should stop dissing American food, so I should stop talking badly about it. A very slang British term, that. In fact, I'm surprised that Substitute Sabrina understood that. We had the term mop up the sauce. So think of a mop. A mop is something, if you have water in your house, you need to absorb the water. You need to soak up the water. What do you use? You use a mop. Think of that with some bread and some pasta. You mop up the sauce. We had the term till as well, which is the place where you pay in a supermarket. Substitute Sabrina called it, I think, the cashier's desk, which, we're not having that on this podcast, are we? Then she described me as a grouch. So someone that's just very miserable, not very happy, that is a grouch. And then we had that everyone gets it on at the drive-through cinema thing. There's actually a wonderful song by Marvin Gaye called Let's Get It On. So I recommend you finish this podcast, you go to YouTube and you type Let's Get It On Marvin Gaye. You will not regret it. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I will see you all in 2 weeks. Remember, the Rock and Roll English vocabulary is on the website rockandrollenglish.com, and you can register your interest for the Rock and Roll family if you would like to. Remember, it's a free world, only if you would like to. I will speak to you all again in 2 weeks. See you soon. But in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.